So where did you grow up? Where are you from?
So my family's from Chicago, Southside Chicago, and then we moved over to Northwest Indiana on the very southern tip of Lake Michigan. So my dad had a body shop that he took over from his dad, and it was just getting...
Do you have to take over the body shop?
I do not.
Okay.
My brother does.
Okay.
I have 7 siblings, and so
one
of the siblings has to take over something that our dad did. So my one.
Are you
brother,
the youngest in the family?
No, I'm the 6th. Yeah, I don't know if it's 6th youngest or 6th oldest. I think
if your parents listen to this, they're going to be really upset.
I know, I'm number 6. We'll just stick with that.
So what, like, I mean, were you a theater actor in high school? Did you have anything to do with the arts?
Yes. Well, it's kind of my dad grew up, like I said, so Southside Chicago, body shop, loved cars, loved football, loved, tactile sports, and I wanted nothing to do with
You knew that.
football, baseball, basketball. I just wasn't coordinated to do basketball. I didn't want to get my ass kicked in football. I mean, I could run pretty fast.
Which, by the way, if you guys immediately, if you do not know Taylor already, go to his IMDb and look him up because he looks like the star quarterback on a football team, like a present-day high school star quarterback. And you're telling me you're not coordinated at all?
I mean, I am now. I think I was so like in my shell back in the day that I was like swimming is nice. Swimming, you don't get hurt in swimming.
And you're by yourself when you're doing it. I mean, you have to practice, but it's a very solitary sport, I imagine.
I think it was the one thing that my dad didn't know anything about, so he couldn't coach me on it.
That's so interesting.
My dad is the best coach in anything, business, sport-related, cars, anything. But, as a kid, you kind of rebel. And so for me, I was like, okay, what does my dad know that what can I know the most about that my dad doesn't know? Swimming.
That's that's really actually very deep. Wouldn't it be funny is if your dad did start swimming that year just to show you
he can't swim. He cannot swim. Every year he has like 3 noodles and he's like, all right, we're going deep.
Were you a shy kid growing up? Were you?
No, I think I was really outgoing, but when you have 7 siblings, you're always getting yelled at. So every move I made, I thought I was going to get yelled at. So I think as a kid, I was super rambunctious, and then as I got older, and I was the oldest of the youngest.
Yeah.
So that means put me in kind of like a role. I was in charge of everyone, and I mean, I feel like even my siblings kind of looked to me and were like, "What do you think, Tay?" And I'm like 12 years younger than them, or 10 years younger than them. I'm like, I don't know.
I think it's time to invest. Yes.
Sell everything. Sell it all.
So where did you discover the arts? Where did you discover, because you swam, and were you good?
It started with modeling, actually.
Okay.
So when I was... I think when I was...
Did you used to be a good-looking person?
I did. I really did.
I was joking. You're still a good-looking person. That's it.
But, I cut out gluten and stopped drinking milk, and look at me now.
Wait, so you started off modeling. How did that even start? Did somebody discover you?
My mom used to be the genuine Miller Draft model. Back in the day.
Real?
For real. Like, I found photos, and, I mean, they're like...
She was like, 80s. I never wanted you to find this.
Yeah, and I think my aunt was in there, too, and my other aunt was too scared to do it.
You come from a family of Miller Lite models?
And they're like, I found the campaign, and I was like, what is this? And what is this? And then my mom told me, and my dad was like, yeah, but he's like very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Because when you're married.
She dabbled.
Yeah, she dabbled. And so my mom was always taking us to theater, and, even like in Chicago. And so
Chicago's such a great theater town, too.
It is.
Yeah.
I know where it happened. I went to my sister. My sister she was in Annie, the musical, and I think she was like 12 years old or 10 years old, and she was playing, who knows, Molly or one of the children in Annie. And they asked me to do the lights for it. And I was probably 13 years old. And it was kind of like a community theater. And they're like, yeah, let's come
You're getting way too many jobs.
So many jobs. Oh, my gosh. I had my first job at my dad's shop. I was detailing cars with these, grown-ass men that I'm like vacuuming stuff. And I'm like, I feel like I should be getting paid just as much as they are because, but I used to like vacuum up all the pennies and stuff. And then I would collect them. And then I make a little side money with all the pennies.
Sure.
So yeah, my sister did Annie. And then I was like, okay, this is cool. Okay, I could like be in the technical side of this. And then that summer, there was a summer program of like this Dr. Seuss book. And I said, okay, because you could learn tech and you could be in the acting. And so I chose the lights and the sound.
Yeah.
And then I think I was like I was young. I was like preteen or something. And then I auditioned for my first play. I think it was like Catherine Called Birdie was my first play. And then I was like, hey, Mom, can I go to Chicago and see if I can get an agent for modeling?
Wait. This is a huge leap, Taylor. So, I mean, I always talk about this with memory, too, is that can you remember back that audition? Can you, I mean, you know it happened, but can you put yourself back there?
I was suitor number 2.
Wow,
I remember. But I met this woman. She was a girl at the time. We were like, I don't know how old we were. And she was a model at Ford Models. And we got to talking, and she said, you should go try to be a model. And I said, okay, I don't know what that means. But I went home, looked it up. I made a photo booth in my room with this like camera that had rechargeable batteries, like the AA that, just die after 4 shots.
Sure.
And I printed them at Walgreens, and I sent them into Ford and Elite.
So you went there and you actually, they repped you.
I went to the small town agency first, was with them for a year and did like Walgreens and CVS.
So you were working.
Yeah, I was working. My parents put the money away for me.
I mean, were your parents like, holy, our kid's earning money? Like that's.
They gave me 10%. I wasn't allowed to spend anything other than 10%.
Amazing.
And they put the rest in my
good. Finally, some good parents.
Plan. Oh yeah. Oh they knew. They're like, I lifeguarded. I did any kind of job. They would always say put at least 50% of like summer money into your college
I love
fund.
your parents. That's amazing.
Yeah. Now I am so grateful. I have 0 student loan debt. And
wow.
Yeah.
So you started doing this. You started modeling, and then when does it go? Hey, I should try. Like, did somebody approach you? Like, you should audition for TV or commercials or?
No. Oh, dude, I didn't even get there yet. I was at this opera house after I did my first stage play, and I think it was West Side Story. I was like, I'm Mexican, like my mom's Mexican. I can be in West Side Story. And like at that time, I'm sure that there were sharks that were
the Jets and the Sharks. Yes,
I'm sure there were sharks that were white with me.
Yeah,
that had a lot of foundation on. And I remember when they said, "Okay, you guys need set makeup. Go, get your stuff." I had no idea, so I was like, "Mom, I need." Kind of $15 or 20. I don't know how much it was. I didn't tell her what I was getting. So I went into Walgreens and found this bronzer, something. I was like, this looks like my skin. And I went in and put it on, and my whole face was like a dark orange, and my neck was just brown. And I think I still have pictures of it, and it's very embarrassing. Yeah.
Oh wow. So that didn't go well. So when does it start to? I guess did that scare you off? I mean, did that experience in West Side Story scare you off, or it just charged you? Like,
totally charged me because there's so many dance numbers. I was not a great dancer, and I said I want to do more of this. I want to be Tony. I want to be.
So when you're not
Bernardo.
good at something that drives you, it doesn't scare you.
Yes.
Okay, that's
all the time.
So because me, if I screw up, I go hide. I don't, But for you, you see that and you're like, oh, I can. If I put the time and energy into it, I can be the best or get better.
I've learned. I just had a vocal lesson earlier today, and I've been telling myself for years of like.
Well, you have a great voice. What are you taking vocal lessons for? Like, what are you taking vocal lessons for?
For singing.
Okay.
Yeah, because
you're a singer. You're a trained singer. Yeah.
But it's your voice changes. Like I went through puberty late, so I went from like a tenor down to a bass. Yeah. And then I had no idea what to do with my voice. And when I moved to Los Angeles, no one's casting a bass that is, a kid. No one's looking at it unless I don't even think I've seen it on the X Factor or something.
Yeah. So you're doing musicals but nobody's thinking to put you in commercials or TV or film. No. That's not even in. But you're making money off modeling. Isn't that a natural progression that somebody would have suggested to you or you would have thought of?
It was especially because I was going to school and I was going to castings and I was modeling and my mom had to come with me. So it got a lot because I have 2 other siblings at home. Yeah. Plus they have the family business to run. Plus they have the house, So my mom just was taking us to swim practice, taking us to soccer, taking us to my sister was in show choir. So it was really hard for us. So we never really got there. I think I did some non-union stuff and polls and it was nice to have money as
But you weren't ever like I need to be on TV. I need it. Yeah,
I just loved the creative aspect. And my dad, I want to say like when I was in high school, my dad was like, all right. You're gonna go to college for swimming, and I got a scholarship for college. I'm fast forward. I got like scholarship for college. And
Spoiler alert, you guys. Sorry, we just jumped the gun. No,
and so
you got a scholarship to UCLA for swimming.
No.
Okay.
I got a scholarship to Fordham for swimming.
Okay.
And then I got accepted into a pre-bio summer program to get a head start, and it was a whole thing. And then I said, I don't ever want to swim in my life again, and I still have PTSD. Yeah, when I walk into gyms that I smell chlorine, I want to do nothing more than just turn around and walk out. I mean, my friends and like my co-captain was number 10 in the country during Olympic trials. Like we were number 1 in the nation as a team, number 1 in the nation like individually at state. You know, we were really high functioning swimmers and high functioning like academics.
Okay, then, but at your high school, were you doing any kind of involved in their theater program at all?
No, it was such a drama too because my sister was in show choir, and this musical or the director was like, "I want Taylor to be in show choir," and I wanted nothing.
No, I did show choir. It was bad. We would dress up in these little tuxedos and be like, "Luck be a lady."
Yeah, totally.
It was horrible.
But it was the same season as swimming, and so in my dad's business brain, he goes, "All right. You're going to join for 2 years and graduate, and you're not going to be able to get a scholarship for singing and dancing probably." He's like, "But you've been swimming for so long, we can get a scholarship this way." So I said, "Okay, you're right." I go, "But I want to do community theater." So I would go to swim practice from 5:30 to 7 in the morning, school.
Oh my God, dude.
Then go from 2:50 to 5:10, swim again. Then I go to theater practice from 7 to 10, and my mom would pick me up. In this giant Ford Excursion. Like, this was like a Hummer, an H2 back in the day for Ford. And she'd come and get me, and she was very supportive and believed in me, and I think she wanted to do it too.
Do you remember any of that time of going like, what? I mean, this is too much for me. Like, this is getting, like you had no personal time.
Well, coming from a big family, you don't get personal time anyway.
That's interesting.
So I was used to it. So getting out of the house and being able to, I think, maybe be in a group of people where I could interact with, where I could be myself and not be.
So it was personal time.
Yeah,
in a
so
way.
that was my
Like
personal
all
time.
That's awesome.
I mean, I used to do my math homework in the seats. And high school was such a popularity contest. Like, if you were in show choir, you could do the musicals. But if you weren't, don't even think about it. Like, you'll be in the chorus.
Who's this new kid? Yeah.
Yeah. I don't play that game. I don't play that game. I'm like,
Taylor,
all right, well.
Hey, Taylor does not play that game, you guys. So do not come at him with that kind of stuff.
I'm like, you know what? Fine. I'm going to go to the opera house and audition for better stuff with better people. And then when you surround yourself with people that are better than you, you get better.
You raise your game.
Yeah.